Dermatillomania, it's a compulsive skin picking condition, so it sort of falls under the OCD spectrum. It's basically where you sort of scan and find imperfections in your skin, and where most people might stop with something like a spot, you kind of take it beyond that sort of level and end up causing more damage than good.
It's on different areas of the body as well, so it can really affect people in day-to-day life. Me and Mary Ann have been friends for 9 years. We've got so much in common, but the biggest thing that we've got in common is that we both have dermatillomania.
A very common feature of people who have derma is that they will sit and they'll look for imperfections, bumps, spots, anything that they can find.
Sometimes I feel like my hands are another person, so they'll be drawn to my face.
Personally, I know part of mine was I would look for ingrown hairs, and then it sort of becomes a trance, doesn't it? Like you sort of enter this stage where you're half zoned out, so you're not fully aware of, you know, what you are doing. You do know you're not meant to be taking it that far, but there's something that means you can't stop.
Yeah. As the years went by, obviously being a teenager, I had suffered with bad skin, and it was something that always affected me, and it got to the point that it was so bad that I sought help through the doctors, and they actually said it's not acne really, it's the skin picking, of which I realised, yeah, it must be.
Even when I was really young, I used to chew the skin around my nails, I used to bite my nails. I remember my dad buying me that Stop Bite nail polish, the one that tastes really horrible. And I think I'd just end up actually peeling that off, yeah, and then carrying on anyway. Me and Lucy would actually send photos to each other to show each other when it was at its worst, sort of encourage each other, help each other sort of through it.
If I'm having a bad day, send her a picture, make a face. Makes it better. Back at the time when I took this, I was in a really dark place. It's probably coming out of a trance and realising what I'd done to my skin. I think I cried quite openly on the bus, which to me at the time I was ashamed of. But I just remember it being so painful, both emotionally and physically. And I look at myself there and I just feel like I was such a different person.
Now the photo that I'm looking at the moment, this was at my worst. This was when I wasn't going to work, I wasn't leaving the house. It's a really hard photo to look at actually. As much as I'm trying to hide it in the photo, I can see how miserable I felt.
So some of the things I use for interventions, really good stress toys. The most effective one that I've used is the pee pad, just because it has almost an effect of getting rid of an imperfection. It's also really cute.
It's got a nice little smiley face.
It's got a little smiley face on it, but it's not hurting myself, and it's just that feeling really. The other one is the Tangle toy. It's just good to keep your hands busy really. My favourite is this little character, it's my burger cat. It's again a stress toy, but it's just good to squeeze really, and again to keep my hands busy. And then the other things that help me are my derma patches. You put them on your face, onto spots to sort of keep the spots down. And the other thing that really helped me in my earlier days when I got a diagnosis and was putting interventions in was my gloves. So I used to wear them a lot at work, and they really help to just put that barrier in. And yes, people are going to ask questions, but I'm not ashamed, and they're actually just quite quirky.
Basically, if I get the urge to pick or something, I'll use this one at work most because it's obviously something really small and discreet, is I'll just literally ping the hairband. And what it does is it like gives me a small pain stimulant, and it sort of distracts me from going into that trance.
Over the years, I've had people make comments, like my dad saying, "You'd be such a pretty girl if you didn't ruin your skin."
Yeah.
And obviously that then, again, confirms the thoughts and feelings I had about my skin.
It's not that our family's like trying to like be mean or anything like that, or you know, hit a nerve.
Another experience I've had at work, so one of my interventions, I was wearing my black gloves and one of my work colleagues made a passing comment in front of everyone and just said, "You look a bit mental, don't you?" And that really, really hurt, and I just wish that people approached it with kindness. a lot of people that suffer with the condition actually have intrusive thoughts.
It just literally sort of consumes you at points. That's the point I felt I got to anyway.
Struggled for years feeling like I was almost dirty, and that really came into the cycle with my skin. My CBT therapist really helped me in understanding that these intrusive thoughts, they have no validity, and I really learned so many different things about helping with my derma. So interventions, ways of thinking about myself, so not being so self-critical, to actually tell myself that I am beautiful and I am a good person.
You're not alone, there is help, whether that be by opening up to your friends and family or, you know, finding support groups like Lucy and I did on Facebook.
Don't be afraid to reach out to the doctors to get support for mental health. Go and see if you can get CBT, see if you can get support, because although it seems quite daunting or scary, I mean, I originally heard horror stories of people either potentially being rejected or dismissed. However, my experience was completely opposite. My practitioner was amazing, supportive, and really was step one to me recovering. And the main thing is, even though all these things are out there, at the end of the day it will be you that can help yourself. So it starts with you, really. Thanks for watching our Fix This film.
We created this film to raise awareness of dermatillomania and to give a bit more information about it.
And to show people that they're not alone.
Please share this on any of your social media platforms. Make sure that we get the message out there.